Tools used on 2008 BMW 528i. Just a standard flat scraper. Snap-on E10, E12 wrench. It's a converted Torx wrench. Mako ratcheting 12.8mm box wrench. Snap-on mid-length 1/4" ratchet. Mako teardrop 1/4" ratchet. 8-inch snap-on cabinet screwdriver. Straight slot 45-degree snap-on pick. Filter cap AST 2008 V410 for removing the oil filter. I use a 22mm gear wrench, flex head, long handle trim tool, great universal tool, 14-inch snap-on 1/4" extension with an E10's 1/4" swivel, long Mako 3/8 flex head ratchet, extra long 3/8 snap-on ratchet, extra long 3/8 swivel head snap-on ratchet, 16mm 3/8 drive, shallow socket, 3/8 to 1/2" slim adapter, 3-inch snap-on extension, a 1-inch Mako extension, and a 1-inch snap-on 3/8 extension, gear wrench T60 Torx, an E10 deep 1/4" drive, an E10 3/8 drive, an E12 3/8 drive, and an E14 3/8 drive. I used a long T30 Torx in my Milwaukee impact driver, 3/8 drive, 5mm Allen, Milwaukee 3/8 compact impact gun, 3/8 Milwaukee ratchet fuel, and a 1/4" Milwaukee ratchet fuel. What I like to do is suck the engine coolant out through the overflow, just to reduce the mess on the shop floor. Bolts we're using today. I always use paper towels to suck up oil and wipe down internal engine components, because the wood pulp fibers, anything that may be left behind, will get just dissolved in the oil, whereas cotton fibers don't break down, but the wood fibers will break down. There's 3 bolts to hold the oil cooler on. E12 inverted Torx. Try to catch as much of the oil as possible. You have a bolt right there, bolt right there, and then a hidden bolt behind the intake right down there. Don't remove this fitting. It's made out of plastic and they're prone to breaking when you try to remove them, and they have an O-ring on them. So what I do is break this bolt free, spin it as far as I can, take this one out, take that one out, And I work this out with my fingers and slide the housing off the engine block. Using E10 wrench to break that bolt free. Once you break it free, make sure you use the ratcheting wrench. It'll fit on there and spin it out for you. Now, I generally just try to get it a little bit out, making sure that I can get it off. I use a ratcheting wrench because if you go too far, you can't reverse it. E10 deep, 1/4 inch. Then the back bolt, 1/4 inch drive with a snap-on 1/4 inch E10 swivel. Just be careful not to drop it. Wiggle the housing a little bit while you rotate that bolt. Try not to drop it. And just pull out slightly so you have enough room for the length of the bolt to slide out. Pretty simple, not complicated. There's your bolt. Take that out. I just used an air blower that I modified, piece of 3/16 copper tube. I always like to draw myself a belt diagram. Simple diagram, not complicated. On these tensioners, gear wrench, T60 1/2 inch drive, snap-on 3/8 long ratchet with a 1/2 inch drive adapter for clearance purposes. Then you need a pin similar to this, 0.175, just under 5 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter. What the pin will do is enable you to lock the tensioner in place. Makes it a lot easier on these cars. Tensioners on these cars are very strong. You feel the belt's very soft on these engines from the oil leaking on them. What BMW says is a lot of these engines, the way the engine's designed and the pulleys are designed, when the belt gets wet with oil, it starts to fray and come apart. As the belt frays and comes apart, the belt doesn't just fall off the car. It could get sucked into the engine through the front seal, thus causing lots of engine damage. Potential. This bolt's non-reusable, and that's where this pin would go. And that would lock it in. It's on the bottom side. I'm also replacing that idler right there. It's got a little dust cap on it. Pop the dust cap off. 16 millimeter. Take a little bit of 2+2. Hit the pulleys a little bit, clean them up, just to get any of the heavy oil off of them. So you give the new belt a fresh start. Right here on this surface, on the head, make sure your scraper doesn't have any burrs on it because it is soft aluminum. I try to keep all of the dirt and debris to the outside, scrape to the inside if at all possible. And my favorite, a little bit of 2+2. Again, paper towel. Put the cap back on. Make sure it spins. Torque on this bolt is 25 Newton meters or 18 foot-pounds. That's 18 foot-pounds. And then you do 90 degrees from there. So 90 degrees would be from here to about here. That should be good. One final check, make sure I've torn all the pulleys. These gaskets can be stuck in there pretty good, and they're prone to breaking because they get hard and brittle. Just use your pick carefully so you don't stab yourself and remove your gasket. I thread it in till about 1/8 of an inch of the way. What I normally do on these cars is, before I do the oil change, I run the car, warm it up, and then do the oil change to get any of the sediment and debris out of the engine. Do it once over, wipe down.